I think, just about the time of Glasnost. We were probably about the first Western band into Moscow at that particular period of Glasnost. And so, you know, we had a nice, lovely time in Moscow. It's a beautiful city, and we were treated wonderfully. And it's just unbelievable to think of what's going on currently. Basically, the start of it is...
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, if y'all haven't seen Hey Hey Rise Up, I did a reaction video on my channel. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, you go to a place and you love this place so much, but then it's hard to feel like, I'm not saying the people, but you know, like the president would do something so tragic, so crazy like that, man. Just starting warring and killing, unnecessary killing and deaths.
Someone showing me an Instagram feed from this singer called Andrei Klyuvnik, who's of Ukrainian band Boombox, and he is in a square in Kiev wearing military fatigues and carrying a gun, and he just burst into this song a cappella, and with all the Ukraine stuff going on, it just struck me that as it's a cappella, one can turn this into something lovely, a beautiful song. By coincidence, the band Boombox that this guy is a singer from, we played a benefit concert for in 2015 for the Belarus Free Theatre, and they were my backing band on that night for several numbers. So, and this guy, Andrei Klyuvnik, has quit his American tour in the middle and gone back home to fight for his home country in Kiev. I've spoken to him. I've said, is this okay? And he said, fine. I spoke to him actually from his hospital bed, strangely, where he had a pretty minor injury from a bit of mortar shrapnel on his face. So he's right there on the front line. And so I started mapping this whole thing out, and then I thought that maybe we, the Pink Floyd, we should do this as a thing for Ukraine, for morale boosting, for peace, to show our sort of, I suppose, anger at what's been going on, and, you know, a superpower invading a peaceful nation. So I rang Nick Mason up and said, Nick, do you want to take part in a song for Ukraine? And he said, yeah, love to. So I got Nick on board, and I got Guy Pratt, who's you know, been part of our setup for 30-something years, and I got Nitin Sawhney in, who's an old friend and is a great keyboard player. And they all came down here to the farm, and we recorded it in the barn. My daughter-in-law is from Ukraine, so therefore my granddaughters, her daughters and Charlie's daughters are half Ukrainian. So I feel a little bit of family sympathy with the whole situation. But the idea of Putin's Russia invading a peaceful nation for no good reason, and there is no possible good reason for invading. You know, there's discourse, there's discussion. You know, if there's any problems, talk about it. Don't send in tanks and shells. It's just absolutely infuriating and frustrating with our powerlessness and the powerlessness of the West in general to actually do something really concrete about it. I mean, I'm sure we are doing our best. I mean, and I mean the Western world, America and Europe, in providing all the horrible weaponry to help this defense continue. But it's, but we still, or I still, and I imagine President Biden and Macron and all the leaders of the world nations are feeling as frustrated and as powerless as I am. There are, I think they say 4 or 5 million people have left Ukraine, and they all are people who will need housing, maybe only temporarily, but we don't know what temporarily means in this circumstance. I mean, how long Ukraine...
I'm gonna stop the video right there. I'm gonna see what people are saying down in the comments. What Joss Donahue says, what a beautiful man. It makes me proud to be British and encompasses decency and integrity. He's an absolute legend and musical genius. Yeah, that they are. Pink Floyd is a beast. I have a lot of Pink Floyd reactions on the channel. Check them out. Let's see. Med Sadi, great guitarist, great man. David Gilmour, unforgettably Pink Floyd. Yes. We got Tiny Dancer 5279. It says, David, you are a beautiful soul. Thank you for the great music. Yes. Then we got Paul Rose. David is a genius with a big heart. Last one for you guys. Santosh Sumar. Love you, David Gill. Well, love you, David GL from Nepal. You are the greatest guitarist in the world. Never leave as. Then Rich 80 says, I went from watching an interview with DG from 21 years ago to this one, and he's in the exact same room. The layout is nearly the same, with the same ukulele on the wall. Time flies. Yeah, time does fly. Like, you see old interviews of Pink Floyd. I watched some of them back in the day, some old interviews, and I think that pretty much is the same, even though they're like in black and white, kind of, not black and white, a little bit color, a little bit black and white though, but they're in the same rooms. That shows people like, you don't have to use all this new technology to still make great music. If it's your first time to my channel, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment below. I'm going to be traveling to some of these countries, trying to get interviews with some of these artists that I'll react to on my channel, but also going to be listening to react to some of the other music and the cultures of the places I'm going to be. I'm going to start off in the Caribbean and then end up in Southeast Asia. It's your boy Sheik-A-Deak. Thank you for coming. I'm out.